guys, in today's video we are going to be talking about one of my favorite artists here on YouTube. You might just recognize him and his lovely puppy, RossDraws and Milo. Ross has been a huge inspiration to me for as long as I can remember, not just his amazing art where he can somehow turn this into this, which in my professional opinion makes him some kind of wizard in disguise, but also his super entertaining editing style. Now, if that's not your thing, that's totally cool, but I love it. While you don't get to see the full process here on YouTube, he still keeps you fully entertained for the entirety of his videos. Again, clearly a magician. You can, however, access his full tutorials by supporting him on Patreon, which will be included in the links below. Now, obviously, I'm not just here to gas up Ross all day. Today's process video is of the artwork I did for RossDraws 1 million Instagram followers celebration, which awesomely was a redraw event. Now, sadly, I took part too late and the event actually ends today. Aww. But I wanted to share the process video with you as well as why I chose the drawing of Ross's that I did. Now, the first thing I took into account was the overall composition. What drew my eye, what could I learn from, that sort of thing. The first thing I noted was the lovely flow this piece had. Her hair is blowing in the wind, nothing crazy, but appealing to the eye. The second thing was the angles, specifically how the earrings looked, one blowing with the wind, one pushed sideways by the pose. I thought it looked really nice and I wanted to replicate that. Also, I kind of think they look like Pringles. Lastly, for composition, I loved the color scheme and I thought it could be challenging, especially as I haven't worked with such saturated skin tones before, as well as the fun blue makeup. Now, the next thing I took into consideration was because I knew that it was a contest and I wanted to be able to highlight something that I feel proud of, and that would be the way that I draw hair. I love to draw hair fun and loose and flowy and pretty much always blowing in the wind, so I thought this piece would be absolutely perfect for that. Now, the last thing that I took into consideration was the challenges that I might face with this piece. One of them definitely being, despite the awesomeness of it, the angle, and specifically the angle of the nose. I find I always have a hard time making it, you're like looking in the nostrils. I just have such a hard time with that position. It just never works for me, so I was very worried about that. Next, I was worried about creating the shadow across her body that you see there. I haven't really played with lighting. I know I throw a lot of lighting into my drawings, but ultimately they don't make sense, and I only do it because I think it looks really cool, but I've never done something like this. It really changed the composition for me. It made it less flat, it made it more interesting, and I wanted to be able to pull it off, but I wasn't sure that I could. And the last challenge that I faced was absolutely, without a doubt, the feathers. I don't usually play around with brushes. I usually have very strict brushes that I use. I had no idea at the time how I was going to create it, and they don't have line art, so I wasn't sure that I could make it fit with the rest of the piece in the way that I drew it. So that was definitely a challenge for me, and I'm very glad that I did it because I think that it turned out okay. And other than that, that's all the explaining that I'm going to be doing today. If you have more questions, please feel free to put them in the comments down below. I'm always watching them and checking to see if there's anything that you would like to see from me. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy my process video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!